when I would hear that, like 2014, 2015, 2016, like that mental health was a thing, I would just kind of brush it off, and I'm like, that's not a real thing.
Yeah, like stigma. Sitting in iHeartMedia Studios here in San Antonio, Texas. I got I feel like I'm on the radio right now.
I know,
like,
me too.
I feel like I'm not being filmed. But, man, I met this gentleman years back, like basically when I was pretty much starting off the I Am Redemption podcast. And, man, Casey reached out. I believe we touched base online first.
Yeah.
Right? If you'll refresh my memory.
Yeah, we had a mutual buddy, Jesse James Leha.
Oh, yeah.
So I watched your podcast with him. So
San Antonio's
legend.
Casey reached out. Casey had a story. I was just getting going with the podcast, and we sat down. And I remember sitting down in our original, like, back and forth.
Yeah.
And there was something, not saying anything bad or anything like that, but I was like, man, like, it didn't feel like your story was done, if that makes any sense. You were going through something, you had some substance stuff, but it didn't feel like it was done. And then since we've talked last, you've had a hell of a journey.
Right.
So I think God was working for us. And
Big time.
He knew exactly when we needed to sit down. So without further ado, my boy Casey, please introduce yourself, man. Give the people a little bit about you.
My name's Casey Barnett. Lived in San Antonio now. Just telling him, it's amazing how time flies. 18 years in the city now. Moved here in 2007 from Florida, from Colorado originally. Have 5 kids. Had a daughter in Florida. Amazing to see how fast they grow. Like I was just telling you, she's graduating airborne next week. So the time is just cooked here. The time is cooked here. As far as work-wise, I come from a long line of hospitality most of my life, but I got into the fitness industry and coaching years back and really have never looked back from that at all. Started coaching high school track, high school cross-country years back, got into CrossFit coaching, functional fitness coaching, love group fitness, did one-on-one. This is how old I am. Okay, I'm about to tell you how old I am. The very first personal trainer job I ever had was at Bowie's Total Fitness.
Oh, Bowie's.
2000, yeah. Okay.
Damn, I can remember the commercials.
The big B, the big cursive B. Yeah, so Bowie's was a big deal in Florida. So when you come out here, it wasn't really a big deal, but I got a job there. I think the second day I moved here, personal trainer at Bowie's. So it's been a long road.
Right.
And I've really seen group fitness evolve too the last 10 years. I think that what really appealed to me about group fitness was taking a class one time, I want to say 8 or 9 years ago, and people were celebrating people lifting weights. We were just doing bench press, we were just doing like squats, but everyone was like celebrating each other, and everyone had racks set. I'm like, this feels like high school football practice again. Like this is like a thing. And it's like there's group fitness. It's like a lifting class. There's cardio class. It just was just a no-brainer to get involved with it. And I always wanted to be the guy like counting people down, like 3, 2, 1, let's go. I always thought I would be good at that, and I loved it. And I really haven't looked back. Right. There's been some hiccups along the way. I would probably say my biggest hiccup was getting out of it altogether. And that was just a really bad choice I made, because that started a downward spiral for me.
You're saying getting out of fitness?
Getting out of the fitness industry, like not coaching anymore, like not having a high school track team to go coach.
Yeah.
I would tell high school athletes all the time, the way that you guys feel about meets and the way that you get pumped up for a track meet or an event, that's how I feel about practicing every day. Like, I love coming to practice. Like, that's my passion. So if I can emulate that to you at all about practice, you're going to thrive, because there's nothing that makes me happier than coming here and practicing every day. So that's where this comes from. And now I'm going a different direction, something I'm just not familiar with at all, starting to really just kind of not be in my own at all, not in my own element, not good at what I'm doing.
What did you segue into?
Healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just not for me.
Right.
It didn't take long to realize that. And then I started to not work out, right? Then I started to get so involved in work, and I'm not working out at all. And for me, this is like the worst thing that could ever happen. Like, fitness has been my medicine for so long. Working out is making me feel good, and being around like-minded people, and that's just not there anymore. And I'd work out every once in a while. It got down to 1 day a week. It got down to once every 2 weeks. And now I'm just really so far out of my element, dealing with certain things as a parent that I wasn't used to dealing with as kids get older. Life challenges coming my way. And really, I look back on this, and I'll probably get emotional here because I'm so far away from this person. 2022, late spring of 2022, I'm in a really, really bad spot emotionally every single day, and I'm hiding it, I'm masking it, which is like the worst that I've come to find is one of the worst things that a human can do. I learned a lot throughout that. I start drinking a lot, a lot more than I would normally. Started taking painkillers a lot, getting my hands on them, easy to get, leftover ones from previous injury or something like that. Really, having a couple beers in my car before I even go inside, because now I can deal with this now. Now I can deal with my life now. It gets real bad. It gets so bad. May of 2022, I am probably so bad at my job at that point. I'm having a mental health battle. Touching on a mental health battle, touching on that term. For a really long time, I'm really naive to that term, right? And it's embarrassing. When I would hear that, like 2014, 2015, 2016, like that mental health was a thing, I would just kind of brush it off, and I'm like, that's not a real thing.
Yeah, like stigma. Like,
what is that? Like life's a bitch, man. Yeah. You're going to have to deal with it at some time until you go through it. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
So late spring, I'm such in a downward spiral, and now I'm popping pills after work and trying to get through the night and drinking more than I should have every single night. Now I'm in my 40s doing this. I have a family, and it's just not good.
And you're having to hide all this from them.
I'm having to hide everything from everybody and trying to hide it from myself. I'm trying to mask this from myself. I can't imagine how bad I was at my job at the time.
Right.
It gets to a point where I start to have some really evil thoughts about myself as a person. And this is uncharted water for me. I was extremely confident 2014 on, moving into kite. Had a really successful run at Cornerstone High School, coaching track teams there, won state titles. So for me to feel this way about myself is really uncharted. And I don't know how to ask for help. That's not even like a thing for me. Where do I go? I'm not even thinking about who should I reach out to. Am I feeling this way? Even in my family. And I think when I told them about this years later, I think the biggest thing that upset them the most is that I didn't come to them, because that's what they're there for. Family and friends now are there for you to lean on them when times get tough.
Right.
If you're not taking advantage of that, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
It got so bad with me, I set a date.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I set a date.
That's the toughest thing, you know what I mean, with us addicts or alcoholics, people that suffer from this, is the last thing we ever want to do is disappoint our family.
Yeah.
And so it makes us hide. We don't want anybody to know, and we just sit there and we isolate. And it's the worst thing in the world for us. But I mean, dude, I can remember for years, it's like I could never let my mother know that I'm shooting heroin, because I know the disappointment that's going to bring. So, dude, I feel that 1,000%.
Yeah, and God forbid this really loud coach, and he's yelling at athletes and motivating people, is depressed and sad and feeling sorry for himself.
Can't be off, right?
Can't be off. It can't be off. God forbid that would happen, It's just very uncharted water for me. And it got really, really bad. And I want to say May of 2022. And now I'm at a very low point. I'm not communicating with anybody about it. I'm hiding it. It's getting deeper and deeper.
So you had literally set a date of you're ending it?
I set a date. It was in May. I had everything set up in place. The scariest part about this, and I've never shared this publicly. I've shared this with some family. The scariest part about this is the act of it was a done deal. Like, this is happening. Getting to that night was going to be the emotional part. Is this the last time I saw this person? Is this the last time I said goodnight? Is this the last email I sent at work? Does it matter? Because tomorrow I'm not going to be here.
Right.
These people are going to know, what did you do that before you left work? It doesn't matter, because tomorrow I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'd said it. It was a Thursday. It's really tough to bring up, because again, I'm so far away from that now, and that poor guy just needed a hug and needed to come clean with everybody and needed a day to just go out and seek help and go to his parents and go to his family. He wasn't doing that. And not doing that, it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper, to the point. Now we've set a date.
Yeah.
Right? The act of doing it, I think, was so overwhelming on everything's going to be okay now. It's like, this, I don't have to deal with this anymore. So the act of doing it
Mm-hmm.
going to be hard. Mm-hmm. Getting to that point that night was going to be really tough.
Right.
So
that's what I was going to say is we feel like we're the loneliest person in the world in those times. Like we're the only one. For some reason, we think we're the only one going through it. And little do we know, all we got to do is speak up, because guaranteed there's somebody right next to us, somebody around us, somebody that knows us, somebody that's going to hear your words, that it's going to hit them too, because they're going through the same
thing. And somebody might see this and be like, oh my God, I'm going through the same thing. Can I reach out? Hell yeah. DM me on Instagram. We will have coffee. We will talk about it. The day that it was set, here's what happened that day. And it's emotional to talk about because I've never shared this publicly, like I said. Go home after work, just start pounding wine, start pounding beers, start popping pills, right, to mask what's about to happen. I've had a Glock 9mm in my possession now for about a week. I've got out to my car with it to see what it feels like, held it, tucked it away, got to that point that night, walk out to my car, and thank God, Shawn, thank God, I'm looking you dead in the eye, thank God, I was so fucked up on pills and alcohol. The second I get in my car, I'm out, fall asleep. The second I get in my car, the second I sit down, I'm just out.
Really?
Done. And I will never forget the groggy hangover feeling I had. I think I came to a little bit about 6, 7 a.m., usually when I'm getting up for work. And I panic, right? Because I'm like, did it happen? Oh my gosh, where am I? Oh crap. And then the emotion kicks in. Now I'm like, this was about to go down. Mm-hmm. So the next month of my life was torture. Mm-hmm. Because I feel guilty. That day I left work and got help that day, that same very day, because I'm bawling my brains out driving. I'm bawling my brains, and I knew exactly where to go. I have a pastor, very close friend. I said, this is the guy I need to talk to. I know exactly where to go. And then I start piecing like what was going to actually happen that day. And then it's just the emotion kills me. My 3 sons at the time, 2 took the bus and 1 walked to the bus. My 2 youngest sons were going to wake up. They would be the first to walk outside. And they would say, why is daddy in his car? Sleeping in his car. His car's on. Why is daddy sleeping in his car? They in turn would have gone and got my 17-year-old son, who's 17 now, and my 3 sons would have walked out, opened that door, and their lives are different for the rest of their life. They've never seen anything like that before, and their whole life is over. It's changed forever, and it's my fault. And that was very hard for me to process for the month following. So I drank a lot more than I was before to mask those, because I'm thinking I feel so bad about myself and I can't believe that this was actually going to happen, and who am I going to talk to? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get help, but I'm never going to talk about this with anybody. No, I'm going to vault this story. I'll get better. It'll be okay. I have the right person now and the right people I can talk to. My family will never find out. I can vault this. Hell yeah, we're good. It never happened. So months go by. I do my best to really just stop thinking about it, right? Because it was such an uncharted water. I'm getting a little bit further away now, seeking help. They say, when was the last time you worked out? When was the last time you did a boxing workout? When was the last time you lifted a weight? It's been a couple months. All right, let's have you work out twice this week. See what you feel like. Best thing ever.
Who's saying this to you?
The group I'm working with, my pastor buddy.
Your pastor's telling you to get in there and work out? Let's go.
I know.
That's the pastor right there.
One of my best friends, man. I knew exactly who to go to. And he said, let's have a goal. You work out two times this week. Make time. And I did. And then I'm so out of shape at this point. It sucks. I did a boxing workout, probably threw up. Cannot tell you. I don't care about that. Get in the car, how good it feels after. Mm-hmm. Right? Months go by, starting to get better. Then, okay, good. We're away from that. Starting to perform a little bit better at work. And then I get this opportunity. You know what? I was never a better person for myself than when I was a coach. Right? When I was a high school track coach, when I was an assistant cross-country coach, when I was a group fitness instructor, that was bringing me the most passion every day for myself. The way that the adrenaline that you get after a class, during a class, somebody's doing it right, everybody in here's into it. That rush, that's where I need to be again. Why did I step away from that? So I get an opportunity to be a boxing coach, right? I've boxed before, I've trained boxing, but never coached boxing. God bless the Lieja family. They actually showed me how to coach boxing and going to their gym. They showed me how to box, but they also showed me how to coach boxing going into this other position.
Wow.
And I hadn't coached in a long time. And now I've got group classes coming in. You know, we're building up this gym and making appearances and stuff like that. And now I'm back on a normal routine, and really starts to hit me like what has changed in my life the last year, right? And then I get this other opportunity comes my way. In addition to that gym, another big time group fitness center. And we're talking like 50 people in class. Lights, music, you're loud on the mic, you're creating workouts for all these people. You're really changing, not one person, you're changing tons of people. People are relying on me now to show up, and I can change all their, oh, hell yeah, sign me up, right?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, the way gyms go, they open and close. Membership, that's the way, that's life. So the boxing gym closes, all good. Got a lot from it. Now I'm at this other place, thriving, right? Got 15, 20 classes a week, different modalities, boxing, HIIT, circuit, kettlebell class, love it. Falling in love with kettlebells. All right, here, this is where we need to be, man.
Yeah.
This is the guy, right? This is what was missing. I still have all that vaulted. I haven't told anybody about that, right? That's behind. Every time I work out now, coach a class now, talk to somebody about a workout now, lift up a kettlebell, I'm a step further away from that day in May 2022. So every time I coach a class, I'm a step further away. Every time I work out, I'm a step further away. So guess what I'm never going to stop doing again? Getting those steps away. So here we are, right? It's 2024 now. It's good. We're back on it. Right? It's way in our past, okay? Life's a fucking bitch, bro. I mean, this week, 1 year ago.
Oh, really?
It's been a year. It's been just over a year. Last week was 1 year exactly.
Dude, the first thing, man, is take a look, and like it's such a lesson for anybody, because you look at how life was going.
Yeah.
And you started. All it started with was you stopping, take another job. All of a sudden, it takes you out of work where you're fulfilled. You're helping people.
Yeah.
You're constantly out of self, because you're not worried about yourself. You're worried about helping other people. You're worried about training. There was a lot of people early in my recovery. I started training people, and they're like, "You can't make your job your recovery and this and that." I'm like, you could say that, but it feels damn good to teach people, to be able to teach people how to lift weights properly,
right.
To watch them start to get something from it, to lose a little bit of weight, put on a little bit of muscle. You watch their life change, it changes my life too. And so I got that same thing, dude. And then it's funny the way you say it's like every workout I do, I'm one step farther away. Because when I did, when I started running ultras and I ran my 100-mile race, that was like my big, I didn't realize it at the time, but that was like my big symbolic moment. And then in the documentary, I even say like every step I take is a step away from that old person.
Yeah.
And I truly felt that. And it worked for a while. But even now, 8 years sober, bro, I still have mental health stuff.
Yeah.
I still have things that I need to continue to work on. You know what I mean? Even though that I went back and did all my work on all the people I had wronged, and I made my amends and stuff like that, there's still, doesn't just go away.
No.
You know what I mean? Life gets a whole lot better, a whole lot more manageable, but it doesn't just go away.
No.
And so constantly, and I'm sure you feel the same way being a trainer, is I watch somebody coming in the gym, I watch them start to change their life, I watch them start to do better, but now they got it. They got it all figured out. They don't need the gym anymore. They don't need this. They don't need that. And then they go back to what they were doing. And fucking it's right back.
Oh, yeah.
You left with what got you to the dance.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I've done it. You've done it. And then hopefully by now we've learned our lesson on that topic. But now for the real twist in your story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think I'm like, well past that moment. I'm a couple years behind me. It's more than 2 years behind me. I'm a shell of that guy, that poor guy. That guy needed a hug, man. Right? I wish I could go back and he's sitting here right now and I could just say, man, it's gonna be okay. Because you got to talk about it. Right? You gotta do something that's gonna drive you steps away further. And like I said, every time I coach a class, right? There could be 4 people in the class, there could be 30. I'm a step further away from that day.
Let me ask you a question real quick. When we originally connected, right? Where were you at that point in your life as far as what your kind of, you know what I mean, like what substance was going on? Because you didn't know that was coming,
right?
You know what I mean? You thought you were still in a good place, and for you, I remember sitting there and talking to you, and you had said what you had said today. This is the first time I want to talk about a lot of this publicly.
Yeah.
My family doesn't know about my substances and stuff like that. So what was it at that moment where you decided you're going to reach out and you wanted to come tell your story like publicly like that?
A big burden off my shoulders. I had a colleague one time, and she just said, you have demeanor sometimes. You have a lot of like weight on your shoulders, a lot of burden on your back. Are you okay? I'm like, damn, this girl. I'm like, oh my God, like she sees right through this. And I was like, yeah, it's tough. And then she's like, there's people out there that can help you. And I'm like, wow, either she's gone through something before or she's seeing right through me, which is probably a little bit of both.
Right.
So when we're connecting, I'm getting healthier, right? There's no more pills, and I'm not doing what I can to get pain pills in my system and not trying to mask all those things. I, at the time, was extremely naive, and it was a long-going thing. I had no idea the damage that pre-workouts and energy drinks are doing to my body. No clue. No, I know I shouldn't be taking that before a workout or having those 3 energy drinks. I know that, but I'm also naive to it. Why? Because I work out every day. Mm-hmm. Going right through my system. I'm good. Yeah. I'm fit. That's not doing anything. That's water.
That's why there's a bunch of us with fucking heart problems.
Exactly. Right? So I had this very long-term problem with a dependency on energy drinks.
Is that what all the... Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So we'll get into this. And so I've discussed this too with doctors. What have you taken before? And I said, well, go to GNC. Look at the pre-workout shelf. I've done everything on that shelf throughout the years, right? 3 or 4 energy drinks a day, just coaching a 5 a.m. class, one on the way. Noon workout, one before that. 4 o'clock class. Oh, got to take the synthetic creatine before that too. I'm not understanding how bad this is going on in my system. I have no idea. And it goes on and on and on. And we go back to a year ago. It's November 2024. I'm healthy. I'm working out every day. I've got now 3 or 4 classes on the schedule a day, which is awesome. And great workout that morning. Probably have, 2 or 3 energy drinks in my system, that day. All that synthetic caffeine. No idea that heart is supposed to go psh, 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 right? But when you take that many energy drinks, it's going psh, 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 creating a massive clot in my heart that I'm asymptomatic to. No clue it's there. Thinking like this wore off. Oh, I got used to having energy drinks before a 7 p.m. class. What do? I go home and go to bed. You become dependent and immune to it, right? Yeah. But not your body. Not your body. Having coffee, right? I have a class an hour later that I'm writing a workout for, programming class. A little cup of oatmeal, obviously an espresso, right? Getting ready for it. And I remember the moment that my heart stopped.
Really?
I remember exactly how I felt. I knew something was not right. And then all of a sudden I gasped for air. I'm sitting there and something just did not feel right. Out of the blue. We'll get in your ear ring or something like that. You get lightheaded. But this was different. Like something was not right. And I remember looking around a little bit. Like, oh shit. Something really bad's about to happen. Like, this is not right. And then it gets really rapidly worse. And then you see my arms kind of come down here, and I remember just kind of like, oh, crap. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe this will go away. A couple deeper. Maybe stand up. The second I start to stand up, heart stops. Right here. And fall, and I was out before this happened. Flat on my face.
Really?
Flat on my face. Hematoma's out to here. They thought that my skull was fractured because the hematoma was so intense.
You got pictures of this?
Yeah. Yeah. I got pictures.
We're gonna need those.
Yeah, I'll show you. They're rowdy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I'm out.
Lights out.
Lights out. Flatline for about 30 seconds. Right? Medical people in the coffee shop were fantastic. Got on it right away. Paramedics are there within minutes. And when they get there and I'm in and out of consciousness on my back, right? I can't move my body now.
And you're laying there, this fit dude.
Yeah.
On the outside, look fucking great.
Oh man, shitting my pants because I'm dying.
Wow.
I'm actually dying right now. This is what's happening. This is how it's going to end. An hour before my next class. I haven't even finished that workout yet. And fading in and out, I can't move my right side of my body. And I start to panic. And the paramedic goes, the firefighter goes, you're having a stroke. You're having a really bad stroke. And then I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Blood just pouring off the side of my face, smashed my head on the ground. I always say thank God I didn't hit here. When I fell, I was out cold before I fell.
Not the moneymaker.
No, yeah, exactly. And so stretcher, get up on the ambulance, and I'm still can't move this. I'm panicking because I'm yelling. I'm like, I can't move my body. He's like, you're having a stroke. You're having a stroke. And then halfway to the hospital, I remember my arm and leg just start flailing. So all your nerves are coming back now, and it's just your body's natural reaction. My face is just completely numb. Blood everywhere. I'm just panicked. Still in and out, fading in and out. Still think I'm dying. Get there. Pretty intense day, right? Getting a CAT scan. They're whispering in my ear, hey, we're getting ICU ready for you. We think you have a fractured skull. But we're going to wait to see what the CAT scan. It's just like punch after punch after punch at this point. Like fractured skull, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I don't know the recovery on that. I have no idea. It's just news after news. But I'm alive, man. I can kind of feel my arm again. Like, okay, look at the bright side here. We get out, lay down, fall asleep for a little while. They're in and out of testing. By this time, my family's around. And the guys, remember, he says, you don't have a fractured skull. You just have a really bad hematoma. Thank God. You had a cerebral vascular stroke. Really bad on the left side of the brain. Come to find out the MRI, the clot was so big in my heart. All it took that day, really hard workout, right? The right amount of synthetic caffeine, a little bit of stress for that puppy to pop up. And when it went into my brain, it broke up into 5 different pieces. So I technically had 5 strokes on the left side. Okay? Here's where it gets crazy because I'm miserable in the hospital. The next day, bandaged up, can't really move this side fully yet, can't really squeeze. Oh shit, I'm missing classes. I'm not working out. Those are not things I should be thinking about.
You're an addict, for real.
Right. Now I'm thinking there might be something really wrong with me. Like my body might be really, really not as profound as I think it is. Mm-hmm. Or I'm more naive than I thought I was. And they start running tests. Your LDL cholesterol is really high. You had a really bad stroke. You had a heart attack. Right? We need to run more tests to see if there's holes in your heart. Well, now I'm just like crying my eyes out because like holes in my heart, this all sounds awful. So they run tests. One of the tests, they put some water into your IV and then they pull your heart up on the screen. It says, all right, if that blue water goes into your heart, you got holes in your heart. And it's kind of like this watching game. And I'm freaking out. I'm crying my eyes out. Like, I don't know what that means.
Holy fuck.
Do I have holes in my heart? Am I going to die right here? Like, this is crazy.
Right.
And there wasn't. The water did not go in. So I'm like, at what point is this going to stop?
Yeah.
At what point is it bring in, the therapist would start to come in, do little motor skills tests. And a couple of them, and then, I love the things they were telling me. You want to hear that? She's like, I can't believe you can squeeze my hand that hard. I can't believe you can lift your elbow that hard. Right? And I'm like, why? And like, you just had a really bad stroke yesterday. You were able to push your muscle up there. That's crazy.
Did you bounce back because
Yes.
Because of working out?
Because of working out.
Thank God.
Yeah. And I've been told that over and over by cardiologists and neurologists. Your fitness level, not just your work, like what you do, saved your life. Like, you won't get through another one of those, right? And I've asked friends of mine that are nurses, have you ever dealt with a patient before that hit their head that hard, had a cerebrovascular stroke, minor heart attack? I said, yeah, they all died. Most of them died. I've seen people get a cerebrovascular stroke. They're dead on the spot. Like, we're glad you're here, but you easily could not be here. And that's a lot to process too.
Dude.
So when they bring a chaplain in the room, everybody's gone. They bring a chaplain in the room. We just start talking. I love how hospitals have a chaplain around. Mm-hmm. And he's like, how you doing? And I'm like, not good. I'm up and down emotionally at this point. Like, I have to deal with the fact that I did die for about 20 seconds. And he's like, yep, read the chart. There might be something really, really wrong with my brain. I had a stroke. I should have had a fractured skull. Like, what is wrong? And he's like, God's path, man. Wasn't your time. That's a lot to take in. And then I'm thinking, like, what's this recovery going to be like? I'm thinking weeks out, because the next couple of weeks were a nightmare. First of all, me in a hospital for 4 or 5 days is not happening. Mm-hmm. I don't deal well in there. Just sitting there watching TV all day. I'm thinking about like, I'm calling my boss. And she's like, you okay? I'm like, I need you to bring 2 kettlebells to my room.
Stop it.
she's like, I'm not bringing them. I'm like, okay. The nurse would say, do you need anything? I need you to bring a kettlebell in here. I need you to find a kettlebell and bring it in here. It's funny, but it's not funny.
Right.
And no, we can't do that. I was a high-risk fall patient. So if I wanted to go for a walk, I had to get people. And I figured out this little loop up on that floor.
You got the little...
His little figure 8, I got it.
And
I would time myself on the walks, right? So I'm like, all right, that figure 8, I'm going to get 52 seconds this time. And you walk with me, make sure I didn't fall. And then we go again. How'd it go? I'm like, damn, 53. All right, 10 seconds, we're going to go again. Like,
so who's with you, a nurse?
Yeah.
They got to be like this.
They're like, this guy's insane. Yeah, I just couldn't sit in the bed all day. I'm like, it was really, really awful, but, a lot went into it.
Right.
A lot went into it. So get discharged, right? Obviously can't go back to work. The doctors, nurses, cardio, neurology, they've all given information to my family about like what he needs to be doing. He can't drive. That's weird. He can't drive for a month because what if it happens again while you're driving? You're a high risk. You're not full. I wasn't fully functional on the right side still. The fall was probably the hardest thing to recover from. Obviously, when you have a stroke, your brain is bruised. It's like a deep brain bruise on your brain. So it takes some time to, like, memory issues are going to come about.
Concussion?
Concussion. Nope. No, small concussion.
Okay.
Weird. The thing was out to here, man. Like, the bandage is, my eyes all shut. I didn't know if I was going to see again out of that eye. Came back. So I got cleared to go for walks after like 4 or 5 days. Like, he can walk down the street. Mm-hmm. Well, this side of my face is still numb. In the fall was so bad, my eye, the bone is like shifted down over my eye. So I've never had an equilibrium problem. It felt like for 2 or 3 weeks when I'm walking on the downslope of a hill like this. So that got really, really weird, really, really quick.
Right.
This is kind of cool. So 7 days went by since it happened. And I mustered up enough courage to get somebody to, hey, take me to where I work. I need to get my bag, and just everyone needs to make sure that I'm good. Mm-hmm. And like, okay, cool. And so I walked in, got my bag, and then I was like, hey, I'm going to coach that class tomorrow. And they're like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, there's a battle ropes class. I'm going to coach it. And are you sure? I'm like, I have to do it. Like, even if I'm walking sideways, I have to be in there. I have to do it. And I did it. And halfway through the workout, I forgot what I programmed the workout. That went on for a few weeks. Yeah, like forgetting things. You're still dealing. This is still not recovered. I learned a statistic about the first 30 seconds of a stroke like that, you lose 3 billion brain cells. Something crazy like that.
Oh, fuck.
So your memory is going to take a long time to come back. I'm like irritable, and I'm not an irritable person. And now I'm like asking to talk to the manager at the restaurant. Right? Never like that before. Like, questioning how much that seafood costs at Sprouts. Like, let me talk to your boss. That went on. I'm not like that. And that one, I hated that part. Right. I hated that part. And then I would, this has happened twice. There hasn't been really, I've been very fortunate. It hasn't been really, really long-term things. In the short term, I went shopping, bought a whole long list of things on the store, went home, put them away, took a nap, woke up from my nap, and was like, crap, I gotta go to the store. Went back and bought that whole list.
Okay.
Yeah. Came back, stocked it up, went to the store twice.
So as you had double everything.
It didn't hit me until I got back the second time. No. That I was like, oh crap, I already went. And I don't remember going the first time. Yeah.
Well, it's like getting to know yourself all over again almost. Mm-hmm. Dude, let me add, there's so much to unpack there.
So much.
Let me ask you, so number one, you had a stroke and a heart attack.
Yes, minor heart attack, pretty intense stroke.
Is that, now I don't know, is that normal for somebody to have a stroke to also have a heart attack?
I could never get that question answered. Some say yes, some say it happens. It was uncharted water for me, both. Never had a really big health scare before. Right. My health scares were like dislocated shoulder, finger keeps popping out of place, right? Like, oh, he rolled his ankle again, lower back problems, things like that. Never worried about seeing on a screen, is that water going to get into my heart? Yeah. One of the tests they did, there was a big clot in your heart that the MRI revealed. We need to see if there's more. And so they do that test where the tubes are down. I got tubes in and out of me, taking numbing things, and they're down there poking at my heart, looking for a clot. And I'm waiting to come to, is there going to be good news or bad news? Because you got clots, now we got a whole other, and they said, there's no more clots in your heart. So it's just like a whirlwind of emotion.
Right. Dude, I'm gonna ask you, so recently, this past week, my buddy Ruck marched across the entire state of Texas. And so we ended in El Paso. And we went out to eat afterwards after everything was all done, and there was people out there, and I was sitting there with him and his kids, and we were talking, and his son got emotional, and he was talking about, I was like, so what, did you ever doubt your dad? And he started tearing up, and he was like, I thought it was 50-50, like I didn't know if he was going to make it. And as he continued to talk, I realized he didn't ever doubt his dad. He was scared for his dad. He was scared something was going to happen. And it took me back to being the young boy of, like, you know what I mean? Like the first time you start actually contemplating the mortality of your parents, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And just seeing that love from a son. So, like, what was it like for you laying in this hospital bed the first time your kids walked in and they see you? Like,
terrible.
Because I have to imagine, I know growing up, I looked at my dad as Superman. I imagine you're in better shape, all these things, you're fucking Superman to them, and all of a sudden Superman in the hospital bed.
My oldest daughter is in the Army. She's wrapping up airborne. I can't even talk to her now without getting emotional because I'm so proud of her. She was holding my hand every single night in the hospital, sleeping next to me, holding my hand. It was unbelievable. The first time they wheeled me in and all my kids are in there, my youngest started crying. That was just hard things to process. But her, they all wanted to be there the whole time anyway, but she's the oldest, and she's like, no, I'm 18, I'm going to be in here with him, and she was there all the time. I wake up and she's holding my hand.
Let's not breeze over the badass that your daughter is.
Yeah, man.
She's getting ready to graduate airborne.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
What's your daughter's name?
Alexandria.
Huge shout out
Huge.
to you, girl. You're a fucking badass.
Yeah, she just wrapped up basic. One of the top females in her class. That was just so good to see and be there for that.
How many females do you have any idea how many females were even in her class?
Oh, a ton. I mean, we would look at their formations. It seemed like it was 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really recall, but there was a lot. And airborne will cut you quick.
Yeah.
And it's rough. It's a rough 3 to 4 weeks. And if you can't do this one day, reassigned. They're cutting hundreds of people. And I'm just anxiously waiting for texts and calls. She made it through. She might have barely made this one through. Okay, where are we? It's like, oh, she's thriving now. She's going to graduate one of the top females in airborne. And when you tell people my daughter's going to airborne, I remember people saying, ooh, okay, man, well, hey, good luck with that. And I'm kind of like, my daughter is a little different. She's a savage, awesome girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to be You're not going to be soft going in there.
No.
Dude, I was in Iraq, and the whole time I was in the military, all I wanted to do was go somewhere over in Asia. Korea, Japan, China, somewhere I wanted to go. And so when you re-enlist, you can re-enlist for a duty station. And so I was picking Korea. I was super excited. I was going to get this tax-free bonus because I'm over in Iraq, and I go in there to re-enlist, and they let me know I come down on orders. Basically, needs of the military. So they're going to place you where they need you, and I come down on orders for Fort Bragg Airborne like that and started shitting.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up to go be airborne. How's this happen? And then I was injured, so then they wouldn't take me anyways when it was all said and done. But dude, big props to your daughter.
She's an MP. She's military police. She just gets tougher and braver every day.
I started off in the Air Force working on aircraft, so I was always taught there's no reason to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
Right.
But props to every single person that fucking does.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most proudest platoons in the entire military is airborne, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was by my side the entire time in the hospital. Really, not really emotional, more like, we got this, I got you.
Right.
Everyone in my family was like that,
Yeah. So, dude, what is it? So, going back, I'm sure at the time you were dealing with some mental health stuff, you were dealing with some substance abuse stuff. At the time, this probably seems like the biggest mountain ever to try to climb.
Ever.
And all that, and then fucking the real mountain hits, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, afterwards, and as you're coming out of it and stuff like that, like, what does it feel like to look back on this? Like, I don't know if you're a religious man. I don't know your belief in God, but I mean, are you clinging to that?
Yeah,
God
of
brought
course.
you through this for a reason.
And I have people tell me that all the
you told me
time.
you're with your pastor.
Yeah, and he said, it wasn't your time, and you need to really spend time with that. And I think you and I have touched on this before. Sometimes I'm a little harder on somebody during a workout than I have been before, right? Sometimes a little harder on an athlete than I have been before. Man, you were a little tougher on me today. You have to understand something, okay? This is not just me liking writing workouts and showing them to you. That workout, and I told you to go a little harder. Come on. Hey, you didn't do it. Let's go. This is coming from something that saved me from dying 2 times now. So if I get a little more emotional loud during a class or during one of your practices, whatever it may be, we're talking about something that prevented me, that saved me from flatlining 2 times.
Yeah.
So if I get a little more rowdy, a little more adrenaline during a busy HIIT class, now you know why. Yep. It's coming from a different place. And when I have a neurologist and a cardiologist and therapist tell me your physical fitness level, what you do has prevented you from dying and given you a full recovery. How do you feel about that? And I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. People need to understand that.
Right. Dude, as I begin to, I found fitness saved my life, running saved my life, obviously, and I segued into coaching people, and I work primarily with people in recovery. And, when you first go in there, like, you think everybody's going to want the information or get it like you get it, you know what I mean? And when they don't, I took it personal.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this fucking saved my life.
Yeah.
This changed my entire trajectory in my life, everything. And it's like, all I want to do is give a piece of that to you. So when I'm explaining a bench press, or I'm explaining how you pull with your lats or something like that, it burns deeper, you know what I mean? It's coming from a deeper place because it's so close to my heart. So dude, there's
one of these things I do in one of my classes, they know burpees are coming. It's only a matter of time, right? They know burpees are coming. There's one of these things I do where it's like we're on our last round and they know this is the last set of burpees coming up and it's minute 20 of the circuit and he's probably going to add 6 or 7 burpees to this minute. And I'll say, all right, we got an extra 30-second break. All right, walk up and down your mat real quick. Right? I want you to think about something. And this is where they really see, like, oh, I'm really into this. Like, we're going to do 12 burpees right now. Okay? And you got a full minute to do it. Here's what I want you to think about. For 30 seconds while you're walking up and down that mat. Outside of these doors, there is something that you're going to pull in here right now that's going to make you do these faster than you could ever imagine. So what we're all going to do right now is shut up, walk up and down our mat, and find what it is outside those doors, pull it in here and bring it in here and bring it onto your mat. And when I say go, you have 12 of the fastest burpees your body has ever done before. And there could be 30, 40 people in there. Shawn, they're up and down on that mat. Like it's like rabbits. And then they're done and then that just makes me realize, people have that in them. You just got to find it. That's a great tool that I use.
Right.
30-second walk. For 30 seconds, it could be a colleague that's driving you crazy. It could be a promotion you're shooting after. There's something outside there that everybody's going to pull in here right now. And your burpees are going to be faster because you're pulling that in. A lot of people need to be reminded of that sometime. They have it in them. It's there. I've seen it. I do that maybe once or twice every 2 weeks. And it's awesome to see the outcome.
Yeah, I'm ready for a fucking
Let's
blast
go.
now. I'm ready. So that's good shit, man. How would you say now, being on the other side of hopefully we're all completely on the other side, how do you live your life differently now?
I would not mask or not hide something. I would never hide feelings like that again because the hole gets deeper and deeper, right? It's easier to come up from, right? The help is there. You'll come out of that hole a lot quicker, but if you're not, you're just digging and you're digging and you're digging. And if somebody sees this and is saying like, man, I'm going through that right now, I swear, I'm telling you, DM me. We'll have coffee. I'll set you up with the right people.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude,
that's what you told me. You said, you know what? As hard as this is for you to tell me, Casey, there's so many guys that are in their 40s that have kids that are going through the same thing, that aren't where they want to be, where they thought they were at this age, or going in a direction. You're amongst a lot of common people. I never even thought that. I thought, man, I'm the most pathetic person right now and going through this, and driving my hole deeper. Like nobody else, everybody I'm hearing, they're graduating, doing all these wonderful things, and here I am just sulking in my own, alcohol.
Yeah.
After work.
Yeah. Dude, I'm trying to think if I told this story on the pod before. If anybody's listening, I apologize. But I was in a T-Mobile, and my truck's wrapped. It has iron protection huge on the side, and the woman come up, and she was very like stone faced, and she walked up and she goes, "Saw your truck outside," and just like stopped, and I was like, "Thank you, man, appreciate it." And she would walk away, and then she'd come back and she'd say like a couple words, and then she'd walk away again. And she's like, she comes back, she's like, "Do you want to explain it?" And so I was like, "Yeah, and I started telling her a little, giving her the elevator pitch of like everything that I do and substance abuse and all that. And then she walked away again. She didn't say anything. I'm like, "What is going on?" And so she comes back and she goes, "You're going to make me cry. I promised I wasn't going to cry anymore." And so then that hit me. I'm like, damn, she's got son, daughter, husband, somebody close to her that's obviously going through it. And so the next time she comes walking back over, I've had this conversation just like with you, with a million other people, to try to get people to understand is like, all this pain is our fucking power. Yeah. All we got to do is be open about it, use it to help other people, and it changes everything. And I said to her, I was like, "Ma'am, this is what I do. If you're currently struggling, or you have somebody in your family struggling, I work with families and all that." And she immediately went, "Shh," like stopped it and walked away real quick. And bro, there's two random fucking people in T-Mobile that have no idea what we're talking about, but she was like so scared. And in that moment, I just had a lot of gratitude for where I'm at in my journey. To be so open about it publicly, but I know full-handed that it can help people. It changes people's lives. I get messages every day. And so in one sense, obviously I hate that this woman's going through this, but I'm excited for her. Hopefully she continues down the path to where she can start becoming open about that, because I know my mother went through the same thing. You know what I mean? You went through the same thing, and all these things we keep bottled up, man. Like, we think the world's gonna judge us. The world is going through the same shit, the exact same shit. And it might not be heart disease or, the exact thing, but they're going through something like it. I say it all the time. We're all recovering from something. So, dude, it's a beautiful fucking thing to, dude, it's just special to me to know from our first conversation, I hate everything that's happened along the journey, but where you're at now, you're a fucking completely different person.
Thank you.
Dude.
One of those things that we touched on, God, I lost my train of thought on that. And it had to do with, unburdening yourself, because I think the first time I talked to my dad about this, he said, why would you not discuss that with me or your family or your brother? And I'm like, at the time, like, so wrapped up into, well, people won't think I'm tough anymore, right? Well, what are they going to think? Mm-hmm. And who gives a fuck? Right? Like, that's where I needed to get past. And in some therapy sessions, that's what we wanted to get past. And then I'm like, it really doesn't matter. Because on the other end of it, if somebody benefits from that and you can help somebody out, who cares? Because you helped somebody.
Yeah. Dude, we just had the 100th episode weekend and all this stuff, and it was an emotional weekend.
Yeah.
And, Friday night we have all these badasses on stage, and we got the dude that's ruck marching across Texas. We got bodybuilders, all these people that have done these amazing physical feats. So it was like very motivative, high energy, bunch of badasses. And then Saturday we had a group of women. They're big in the recovery community. They're on social media and all that. And there was a young girl, Kaylee. She's part of our own group. She has Down syndrome, and so we were honoring her. And so I brought her up, dude, and she set the tone for the whole evening, because as soon as she came up and I brought her up, she started crying, which got me to cry.
Oh yeah.
Which then the musical guy that went up next, Creechy, he cried. Then all the girls go up, they all cried and all that. And the old me would have never let that be seen.
Yeah.
Because I gotta be the fucking tough guy. Can't be. Can't be seen crying.
Nope.
Can't be seeing all that. And it's not that I'm a big crier or anything, but brother, women are able to pull that out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I see a woman crying, my mom, my sister, Kaylee, anybody like that, it's getting me right now.
Yeah.
But dude, it's so funny because we're walking away and I have these 9 beautiful women on stage. My wife is there, like all this. And their biggest takeaway from the night, because they watched this chain reaction of her crying, me crying, guests crying, people that were there crying and all that stuff. And they walked up and they were like, you guys down here in Texas, like, you guys are real men. Like, they thought we were like more manly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had my buddy there. He had a big moment. He had for the first time, just hearing the podcast or hearing that show, he came up to us at the end and he was like, "Today I stopped drinking." Like, he made this proclamation, tears in his eyes, and he's bigger.
Testimony that day.
He's bigger than I am. And so they were in awe of like these big dudes here in Texas that are willing to get vulnerable like that and thinking we're more manly for it. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that's how that worked. I would have got in touch with my feeling a long time ago had I known that. Shit.
Yeah, you want to see a grown man cry, put me on a FaceTime with my daughter and she's in her uniform. I can't last 30 seconds. I'm bawling my brains out. I have to put the phone down. She's like, what's wrong? Like, they don't get it.
We got to see the video when you go to graduation, dude.
Oh yeah, we'll have them. Another thing, even with fitness, like when people are achieving things that you set out for them on a little tiny workout, and I've seen people get emotional. That they don't understand. Like, that hits me too. That hits us also. One of the things that I do with classes a lot is a 1,000 meter row challenge in under 5 minutes. Can you row 1,000 meters in under 5 minutes? And I'll have people every once in a while get a little emotional after that they did it. I never thought I could do that. So now you've done that. You don't understand, like, that's hitting me just as hard also. Yep. Right?
Dude, there was a ton of people that had come out to the weekend, and we went on a run. I told everyone it was going to be a 4-mile run. Ended up being a 6-mile run. We took a little...
Good for you, man.
It's bonus mile.
Yeah.
But dude, there was so many people, I think in the moment they might have been mad at me. But when they got back, they're like, I've never fucking ran 6 miles before. So excited, dude. A dozen people coming up to me telling me these big moments they had. My brother, dude, came in from from New York. This dude smokes a pack of cigarettes a day. Like, he's not in the sobriety community or anything like that. This fucker went out and ran 6 miles beaming afterwards. Beaming. I don't know if he's ran a step since, but hopefully he did. But it was just like, man, let's fucking
go. And I know what you mean. I know that feeling. I know where people come off of that, the sacrifice that they made, and they'll tell you, down the road it was all worth it. We had a really good track season at Cornerstone High School in 2021, and their spring workouts were a nightmare, right? And we held them accountable, and we were on them. And that started in the fall. We did this preseason track training, and it's called Foundation, and it's a nightmare. But you're prepping them for practicing in the spring, so it's a 3-week period. It's brutal. And we're on it, and we're on them. And you're held accountable, and you have to be there. You have to do all your reps. And then the season starts, and it's hard. When it's over, and the kids are holding up the first place state championship trophy, and we're all driving back to San Antonio with Chick-fil-A, and everyone's celebrating and screaming, and then we get the ring ceremony. They're texting you years down the road. They're texting you, calling you. That was all worth it, man. And thank you. That was all worth it.
Yeah, bro. I get people that message me that 2-3 years ago I was training them in a treatment center, or I got them to run a couple miles, and the few that have still continued with it, that they hit me up and they show me their progress, or that they just ran a marathon or anything like that. Like, bro, that's the shit right there that for years the hole that I tried to fill with drugs and alcohol and everything else under the sun, that's what fills that fucking hole, is knowing that I'm helping people. And that's what I believe, God brings us through all these things for a reason. Yeah. So like that leads me into my next question. He took you through this journey, right? What are you doing now to be able to utilize that to help other people?
So, this right here, reach out to me, I'll help you. I would stop everything in my track to help somebody that felt compelled or is going through the same thing. That I owe it to them. I owe it to myself. Let's be realistic. Like, I shouldn't be here, right? Like, you flatlined in a coffee shop. You had a stroke that most people don't survive from. So when the chaplain's telling me, life is precious, cherish it, this and that, and I shouldn't be, that's a lot to process. So we do have to cherish these moments, and your processing has to think a little bit differently, and trying not to fall back into old habits, and not like stay away from energy, stuff like that. So what point did it hit you enough to where you completely change? And hopefully it did, right? Hopefully you don't fall back on that. And I think just thanking those that helped you along the way and things that you're doing for people now. And when people message me, thank you for that workout today, this and that, those are moments of redemption, right? Those are ones we want to hold on to.
Yes, sir.
My kids are everything. I mean, seeing my daughter graduate, like, that's just unbelievable. Being able to see that, being able to be there and see her walk in basic training, go to her high school graduation, I might not have been at.
So sitting here today,
yeah,
this fit fucking dude sitting across from me, go out and do any physical feat right now. Somebody's in their car listening to this and they're fucking pounding a Monster Energy drink right now. What do you got to say to them?
Hey man, cut it back, cut it down to 1. You know, moderation and that stuff. It just baffled me how naive I was to the damage that it was doing in my brain and mouth. I just had no idea. And then the docs would explain, and the way that your heart beats and the way that it was beating and the things that are happening in your heart, you just don't think about that. Because I need a little okay man, a little tired today, okay, I'll take that 5-hour energy or something like that and I'll be good to go. And you don't understand the damage that's causing.
What did they say anything about, and I'm curious for myself because I was on energy drinks for years. I don't drink them really now, maybe once in a blue moon, but to somebody that has been on them for years, did they say, if you drop them and you continue working out, does it help reverse the way you've done? That's
a great question. And it goes back to cigarettes in the 50s and 60s. They didn't have studies on them, and everybody smoked. There's no long-term studies on energy drinks. Yeah, so what are we going to do 30 years from now when we find out, hey, these are the long-term effects that were caused by energy drinks. These are the long-term effects caused by kids vaping. I can't believe kids vape. You don't know what's happening, right? There's no long-term study. There's long-term studies on cigarettes and alcohol. It baffles me to see people smoking cigarettes still. I cannot believe people smoke cigarettes.
Dude, when I'm driving down the road and I see somebody smoking
it's crazy
in their car,
yeah,
I'm like, you savage.
That's crazy.
Savage.
Yeah. Knowing what we know now, because what we don't know about the synthetic caffeine. We don't know those long-term studies yet.
Have they ever done a long-term study that came out good?
No.
I don't think they've ever.
Never.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Yeah.
You just keep riding with that. You'll be all right.
Keep drinking water. That's a great long-term study.
That's it. That's it. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. But yeah, I mean, until they come out with that, it's not going to really hit home. We know, like I said, it just blows my mind. Be walking down somewhere in San Antonio, Riverwalk, out to eat, and you see somebody outside smoking a cigarette, and you're just kind of knowing what we know, that's crazy, you know?
What's worse, somebody standing outside smoking a cigarette, or an entire family at dinner staring at their phones?
Oh, they're both equally terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible.
We're fucked. Dude.
Terrible.
Where are we headed?
Terrible.
Damn, dude. Well, bro, first of all, man, it's been an honor to sit down with you to hear some of this, and there was part of me that wanted to call you yesterday and catch up because it had been a while, and I was like, no, everything we're going to talk about on this phone, we're going to end up talking about on the podcast, so let's keep it fresh. But, dude, I'm honored to be able to have guys like you, or men, women, to be able to come on, because just to think about my journey with just doing this podcast and the amount of people I've been able to sit down from, with the amount of people who see these social media clips that reach out, you know what I mean, that are impacted by these stories, and then everything that's come from that. Just from this podcast, we were able to start a Thursday night meeting where we have people from all around the world, literally, not just the United States, hop onto this call. And the cool thing is much like what happened with me and you, us addicts who have been in meetings or been in treatment or been in recovery, we're so open with our stories. Mm-hmm. And we open up with our story, and it opens the floodgates for everybody else. And so that's what happened. Everybody hops on this call, and it's open to everybody. We're all recovering from something. From that, we started a run group. From that, we've started these live events, and we've been able to start and build a community and a movement of people coming together to understand we are not alone out here. There's so many of us out here, and that when we could tap into this shit and be able to channel it into the other way, it's one of the most powerful things that will ever happen in our life. Yeah,
and the months following the stroke and heart attack, I felt really compelled to get involved with the American Stroke and American Heart Association. Something just told me you should be speaking with these people or something, volunteering. Mm-hmm. And I have a friend, she knows everybody in San Antonio. You just name dropped, you just got that person in your email, and I said, hey, do you know anyone at the American Stroke Association? I feel kind of compelled to volunteer or something, maybe one event a year. And she goes, oh yeah, I know the San Antonio, director of it. I'm like, okay. An hour later, that person's emailing me. Oh, I got your email, this. And I ended up doing a couple speaking events. We hosted a fundraiser at our studio. We raised $100,000 that day.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, that was awesome.
No way.
Yeah, $100K, just donations. We did rides for money. People could donate for their ride, their bike. I got to guest speak, which is something I really like to do. We had other guest speakers. The Bear County Commissioner spoke. I'm rubbing elbows with the Bexar County Commissioner. That's just crazy. Like, what a day, right? And then so that like, I owe it to that also. Yeah, you know, that's why I got so compelled. Like, something got to come of this without that. And I've spoke at a couple of their events. That is, to me, just priceless. I love that,
dude. So I'm gonna see how I can twist this story, but I'm a bad person. I don't like asking for help.
Mm-hmm. Right? Same here. That's why this got so out of hand, because I hate asking for help.
And I was talking to a guy, and he was saying the way he described it to me was unlike anybody had ever described it. He goes, by you not asking for help, he goes, let me ask you something. He goes, you help people every day, right? And he goes, yeah. Or I was like, yeah, of course. He goes, how does that make you feel? I was like, it's like the most important thing in the world to me. He goes, you're robbing everybody else when you don't ask for help. You're robbing them of that blessing.
Right.
And I was like, damn, I never thought of it like
Never thought of that.
Never thought of that.
Even your family, like, I think that's the most disappointing thing. When I said, hey, I'm filming this thing, a couple years ago, this is what has started to open up about it. Again, like, a little more concern, like, wow, what are these people going to think? Why am I alerting people about a podcast, you know? Or me being worried about what they're going to think. A couple people I've told, hey, this is going to come out. You're going to find some things out about me that you never knew. I want you to know I'm okay. I shouldn't have to, like, justify that, you know, at all. And I think that was the biggest disappointment from direct people in my family, is that I didn't lean on family or friends right away. I let it get so out of hand. I was so not really afraid to ask for help, but, like, it would be, in my mind at the time, this is pathetic that you need help.
Right. But dude, for you to come here and share your journey, and to think about, it's not long ago that you were sitting in a car ready to end it all, with the Glock under your seat.
Oh yeah, in the mouth. In the mouth. Practice putting it in the mouth a few times.
And had the day you were going to do it. God kept you here for a reason. Think about all the people that you wouldn't be able to impact now, being on this show, going up and speaking, working with the Heart Association. Yeah. You would have robbed all of those people of the blessing hearing your story. So I hope that's a lesson for anybody that's listening to this, anybody that sees a clip or whatever. Like, everybody goes through these depressive episodes, you know what I mean? Everybody goes through tough times. And if you decide to make, you know what I mean, a permanent solution to a temporary problem, you're going to rob all those people that can learn from this mistake that you made. So
my dad is probably the most influential person in all this. Just talking to him, and he was there at the hospital all the time, and I opened up to him about having a Glock 9 in my mouth, and he got a little emotional the first time, but he's always been the same support. And anytime times are tough, he'll just say, listen, you're going to go through some shit in your life, and it doesn't stop when you're 25. And most people think in your 20s, all this crap I dealt with in my 20s, it's over. Oh, thank God. I'm 30 now. Right? I'm not going to have those anxieties that I had having a baby or anything like that. Everything's bullshit. Yeah. You'll hit 45 and something won't go right. Yeah. So he's been extremely instrumental in just balancing life challenges and, you know, making sure everything's going to be okay.
Let's go, Dad.
Yeah, Dad.
Let's go, fucking
Dad joke. And he's the king of dad jokes.
Is he?
If you're watching this, and you don't like my dad jokes, but you actually do like him, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Let's go. So, dude, this is my favorite question to ask. Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, tonight, you're walking out for the UFC championship. What's your walkout song?
Oh, man, there's a couple. I'm really into Deftones right now.
Okay.
There's this warm-up song I've been using the last couple days. It's called Rosemary by Deftones. It starts slow. When it hits, lights off, it's good, but man, any Rage Against the Machine song just gets my blood flowing. Tool, and probably Wherever I May Roam by Metallica. That's a good one. Can't go wrong, man. There's so many.
We're the same age.
Yeah.
We're the same age.
I used to ask 400 runners, if they call your name and you got to go out to your blocks and they had walk-up songs, what would your walk-up songs be? Totally different generation.
Yeah.
Man, I would say like Pistol Grip Pump by Rage Against the Machine. And they're like, Travis Scott, And I'm like, whoa, totally different generation. Not hype, but good, but not the same type of hype. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love Travis Scott, but I'm not walking to my 400 blocks with that. I mean, we're 90s kids. It's Metallica or Tool.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh but when like they can like control the TVs from like outside of the room, so like it's kind
Those are
of
badass TVs, dude.
Yeah,
Imagine watching
might just be
football on
outside.
that. Boom.
So take you right there, bro.
Imagine watching.
I do this.
You know that this is bullshit, by the way.
What?
There's like a contract dispute between YouTube TV and ABC.
Oh yeah.
You haven't been able to watch UT football games the last few weeks.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
That's crazy. They play Georgia.
Oh yeah, kind of tomorrow.
How are we supposed to watch it?
I don't know. There's a lot of NFL people pissed off.
Yeah.
A lot of people. But thanks to iHeart for letting us in. And
Die-hard UT football fan here, by the way.
There we go.
Big time.
So, dude, the way we like to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
If you'd be so kind, everybody's heard your story. They got to know Casey a little bit. But if you take a look into your camera and let them know who Casey is by throwing out a couple I am statements. It could be I'm a survivor, I'm a badass, I'm a father, whatever you want.
I'm a born again broken guy, man. You know, I had some tough times. I got through them with the help that I should have asked for, but I didn't. Lean on your family, lean on your friends, lean on what you love to do, not just for a living, but in life. You have to find something that you're passionate about to do. If you don't, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Get help. It's out there. Don't be afraid to ask for it. My biggest regret is going through all that time and not asking somebody for help.
Hell yeah. What did you say? I am broken again.
I'm a born again broken man.
Born again broken man. Good shit. Well, brother, it was an honor. Thank you
man.
for taking the time. Glad we could make it happen.
Absolutely, bro. Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's go.